Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So with TAC right around the corner, I just kind of wanted to go over a gear list of stuff that I am bringing and the great opportunity that TAC provides to you if you plan on going Western hunting. So for me, TAC is a great opportunity because I'm in North Carolina. I don't get a lot of chances to go, you know, shed hunting or do a lot of early season scouting. So I pretty much use Total Archery Challenge as a springboard or a testing grounds for the gear that I want to hunt with, trying new stuff, trying to get stuff to fit right. And it's a great place to try. Where are we gonna start? The backpack that I run is the Stone Glacier Sky 5900. For me, this backpack has been awesome. I wore it on all the Western hunts I've had in the last 2 years, wore it to TAC last year, and honestly, it's a great pack. Get a backpack that's comfortable. That is boots and pack. If you're comfortable in those, you're gonna be great. All right, so the boots that I'm gonna be running this year, or at least testing out at TAC, is the Hanwag Makri Trex. I think that's how you pronounce it, the GTXs. I got these in a half size up from my sneaker size that I would normally choose. So I had Crispy Nevadas last year. They were 10.5 and they were just a little too small, and I got a numb toe when I was hunting in Colorado, and I think it's just from cramming it in the front of my boot. So I sized up, went up a half a size, and I was looking for something a little less or more a little more flexible. I just don't wear these boots a lot, so those Crispies were just, in my opinion, they were just really stiff, and I kind of felt like I was lugging around. So I picked these up used on a forum, and personally, I don't mind doing that because someone tried these boots, put a couple miles on them, didn't like them, and I get $150 off from what they cost. They're already kind of broke in. So I think the used market is a great place if you're looking for stuff and you just don't know what you want or you can't commit quite yet. So these are the Farm to, they're a wool sock. I really like them, and I'll probably just wear these with the boots with no liner, but I will have a pair of liners in my pack. These are just a pair of lightweight REI liners. I prefer not to wear liners, but if I start to get hot spots, I put the liners on right away, and that usually cleans it up for me. So if you're someone who does get hot spots, try a pair of liners. I've done a lot of hiking, especially in my youth, and I always wore liners, never really had a problem. So some clothes that I'm bringing to TAC, just a beanie if it's a little chilly in the morning. I'm shooting both mornings. I got a rain jacket. This is the Sitka Pullover rain jacket. Carry some kind of rain gear because you never know when you're gonna get a pop-up shower. Another new piece of gear that I'm testing out this year, and this will probably be the last piece of clothing, is these Sitka Apex pants. Last year I wore the Ascent pants and they were great. I had no problem with them. I just wanted something maybe just a little bit thicker for hunting season, and I'm just really bringing these to break them in and try them out. I'm gonna try walking around with the knee pads in them, even though I don't particularly like them. I'm just gonna try it. Like I said, this is a place for me to test the stuff, just to kind of like put it through its paces. So a pair of Sitka Apex pants this year. I think as long as you're comfortable, it really doesn't matter what you're wearing. You don't have to wear camo. You don't have to wear hunting clothes. It's a fun shoot. So go out there and use it as that. Have fun with it. Try out gear. You're not gonna look like an idiot wearing camo because half the people out there are wearing camo anyway. So bring the gear you wanna wear for hunting season. Try it out. Figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like, which is more important. A few other miscellaneous things that I will throw in my pack that I pretty much always carry in my pack. If I have that backpack on my back, these are things that are non-negotiables. They're always in there. It's gonna be a first aid kit. This has just got some basic Band-Aids, some aspirin, some lighter, some Leupold. Should always have one with you, especially if you are a little ways away from getting help. So having a first aid kit, not a bad idea. Like I said, this thing lives in the bottom of my pack. If I have my pack, I have my first aid kit. I feel a little bit more safe, a little bit more comfortable when this is there. Wet wipes. Never know when nature's gonna call, right? This is kind of just a little utility kit that I carry in my pack. It's got a pack cover, just some other batteries, an extra headlamp, just some miscellaneous crap. Like I said, this also just lives in my pack all the time. So some of the other baseline gear that I'm going to have with me on this trip, but not necessarily in my pack, is kind of just a little bow first aid kit. pair of pliers. I have some D-loop string in here. I have a Hamskea level, some string wax lighter, some extra Nox. It's just really just the basic stuff. With as many arrows as I'm bringing, I really shouldn't need this. I didn't need it last year, but it's just a nice, comfortable thing to have in case, you know, you get home and you're in the hotel and you see your D-loop's got a little bit of a fray in it. You don't want to punch yourself in the face in front of all your friends, so just tie a new D-loop on. And that's what this stuff is for. It's just a very basic minimalist bow repair kit, and it's just enough to keep you going. One of the more important things that you're going to want to do when you're at TAC is you're gonna want to stay hydrated. There was sometimes a few miles between hydration stations, and especially if you shot in the afternoon, they might not be full by the time you get there. So I advocate for bringing as much water as you feel comfortable carrying. Whatever that you need for a 3-4 hour adventure, that's how much you should bring. So for me, I bring about 2 liters. Last year I went a little overkill and I carried like a gallon of water around, and that was just stupid. But I did have one of these Nalgene's. Typically I'll drink one of these with just water and one of these with electrolytes in it, just because you are going to be sweating, you are going to be outside, you're going to be burning through a lot of calories. So snacks, electrolytes, water, stay hydrated, stay nourished. You'll have a lot more fun. You don't want to be that guy that is passing out on the course. I'm going to walk you through this bino harness that I have. This is by far my favorite. This is the second one I've owned. I've had them in 2 different sizes now, and you get different sizes to accommodate different optics. For me, this is the Marsupial gear in a medium, fully enclosed, and it's housing a set of Vortex Razor UHD 10x50s. I really like these binos. They were a little big, a little hard to get used to at first, but once I got used to them, these things have been absolutely awesome for me. So for rangefinders, I'm running the same one that I ran last year, and this is the Leupold FullDraw RX4. I primarily pretty much just archery hunt. It's really all I do. So I got an archery specific or a rangefinder that is seriously tailored to the serious archer. This thing's awesome. You can do a lot with it. It has straight line yardage. You can do your angle compensation for your yardage. And based on your bow setup, the weight of your arrow, the speed of your arrow, I believe your peep height, you input it all into the rangefinder itself. And when you shoot your range on your target, you put the reticle on the target, shoot your range, it will give you a bar that is above your reticle. That is the peak trajectory of the arc of that arrow. Also, what I'm carrying in this, they have these really cool side pouches that are pretty flexible. You can get quite a bit of stuff in here. I like to carry an Allen pack. This is just an Easton Allen pack. I'm a right-handed shooter, and in the right-handed pouch, I like to carry my release. This is the UltraView Hinge 2. This is the stainless steel version with the hunting bracket. This thing has been like my go-to release as of late. I find myself picking this thing up all the time. I'm shooting really well with it, and I honestly believe this is what I'm gonna hunt this year with, and I'm gonna run it at TAC this year. Last year I shot a thumb button. This year I'm gonna shoot this UltraView Hinge 2 and really get comfortable shooting it in a magnitude of different positions. Stay hydrated. All right, now to get into the thing that you guys are watching this whole video for. If you are going to shoot a Total Archery Challenge, you need to bring a bow. This is my bow. This is the Mathews V3X 33. I did a bow build video on this bow specifically. A few things have changed from that video, but the configuration that it is in right now, this is going to be my hunting setup. I will not hunt or shoot Total Archery Challenge with these Engage limb legs on. I think they're a really cool design. It's really nice. A lot of guys love them. Me personally, I don't. I'm shooting the Hamskea Epsilon limb-driven rest. I love Hamskea rests. They are bomb-proof. They are a little pricey, but they are 100% worth it in my opinion. The sight I'm shooting this year is the HHA Tetra Max. This is an upgrade from the older version of the Kingpin, which I shot last year. This is a 4-pin slider. With this scope housing, which is a pretty large scope housing, I can get out to about 125, 130 yards with this current arrow setup. So Total Archery Challenge is going to be a lot of fun for me. The stabilizer setup that I'm going to be running on this bow, this is a Bee Stinger Microhex 15-inch bar on an 8-degree drop with 2 ounces of weight up front. And I have the Shrewd sidebar set up 3.5 degrees out, 4.5 degrees down. It has an 8-inch bar with 7 ounces on the back of it. Quiver, right now I have the Mathews one-piece quiver on this bow. And last year I shot with the quiver on my bow because I wanted to put myself in hunting situations where I'm going to have my quiver on my bow, and I wanted to be able to shoot and execute those shots. This year I don't know if I will. I may not. All right, so let's talk about arrows. How many do you need to bring to a Total Archery Challenge or any of these archery challenge mountain events? So me personally, I'm shooting 4 courses over 2 days. So that's roughly 100 targets. I'm bringing 18. 18 arrows is, for me, I think that's gonna be the sweet spot. It's enough where if I break 1 or 2, I'm not gonna get nervous about running out of arrows. So the arrow that I'm going to be shooting this year for TAC is a Sirius Orion. This is a 4mm, and the total arrow weight on this is 441 grains. It measures out 28 inches carbon to carbon. It has a 100 grain point. With the collar and the insert, they are a max of 65 grains, so it's 165 grains of point weight. I'm running a wrap with a 4-fletch boning heat vane with a slight helical to the left. I'm gonna try these knot collars. Maybe it saves me an arrow, maybe it doesn't. But all in all, I've been pretty happy with the way these Sirius Orions have been shooting. I really like the 4mm, kind of cuts down on some of the wind drag, and these lower profile vanes kind of do the same thing. They're gonna cut down on that lateral wind drag. So I really do like the 4mm design. It's a lot thinner, and it will help with the side wind drift of the arrow, along with these boning heat vanes. They're a little bit smaller profile. I shot these last year to hunt with. Really like them. They're quiet. 4-fletch gives me enough clearance from my sight housing to be able to reach out to those 120, 130 yard shots and not have contact with my sight housing. All right, guys, so thank you for watching this video. If you've already headed to a TAC or you're gonna go out to one this year or maybe next year, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. Let me know which one you're going to. If you have any questions about the gear that I have presented today, drop a comment, let me know. And until next time, guys, my name is Jeff Cordero. We'll check you out on the mountain.